Welcome to Seed to Life. After a 6 week long vacation, finally we are back. Our visits to India always remind me to feel grateful to be born in a diverse country like mine, which is full of life, beauty, culture, and mind blowing food. It was the first time we saw our loved ones after COVID, so we enjoyed every second of it. But I still missed my garden in the US. It was very tough leaving my green babies here alone, especially when summer had almost begun. And many of you might already know the infamous Texas summer. Summer in Texas typically is very harsh, with temperatures staying constantly above 100 degrees Fahrenheit most of the times. I'm planning to share some experiences from my India trip here, but first let's look at my overgrown garden. Just a month or two before we left for India, we had redesigned the garden and we had our new patio in place and a beautiful marble pathway. Before leaving for India, I had to move all my indoor plants outdoors and leave them there. You can only imagine the apprehension as I knew that the weather was going to be soon extreme. Our sprinkler system was in place, but I was not sure if it was going to work or not. Some of my plants are exotic and expensive. With a heavy heart, we left and came back to this. While this is not the backyard that I was planning to have, but in the raging heat of summer with temperatures above 105 degrees Fahrenheit or in mid 40s in Celsius, my backyard stood out like an oasis among backyards with dried grass. Now, let's take a tour of this self ruling garden. I can't believe that just a couple of months back the new beds were set up, and now look at these overambitious plants trying to compete with each other for every bit of space. It looks like the rose bush suffered due to high temperatures, but still growing new leaves and blooms, and I'm pretty sure that it is going to be fine. You can see how hard it is to get rid of the grass. This is a dill that has bolted and producing a ton of seeds. You can see here leftover mustard and turnip plants from winter. I need to take them out soon. I reserve a corner in these beds for regrowing onion from kitchen scraps. It is very easy to have a constant supply of free spring onions. Whenever I need it for garnishing or recipes, I just have to run out and harvest the fresh greens. These are carrot flowers. They are in various stages of development, and next to it is one vegetable known as lamb's quarters. In India, it is known by various names such as batu, chandan batwa, etc. And we will explore this vegetable in more detail in future videos. These kale plants are looking extra crunchy and shiny. And next to kale is the rainbow chard. And then the entire bed is covered with the white cucumber vine, and it is hard to know what plants are hiding underneath. I can see parijat and insulin plants peeking out. I'm glad that they survived. In fact, just a few days later, they started producing beautiful yellow colored blooms. I'm scared to go near the plants because there could be wildlife hiding underneath. Texas is famous for its rattlesnakes, so I just want to be safe. Zucchini plant is almost crushed and hardly producing any fruit. There are some big overly ripe cucumbers hiding underneath the vines, and they are not edible. Now let's check out the other side. On the other side, I have these water spinach plants that are growing crazy. It looks like they are liking this spot a lot. It needs a lot of trimming though, as they are causing trouble to the neighboring plants by overpowering them. These beautiful moringa trees are loaded with drumsticks. I'm so proud of them. Moringa is considered as a superfood. Almost every part of this tree, leaves, flowers, pods are edible and highly nutritious. They are fast growers and survive extreme heat. Every year during winter, I have to bring these trees inside, and that is the reason they are potted, except one. This moringa tree is in ground and dies back to almost nothing every year. But now, after 3 years of fighting with harsh winter, the roots have established well, and this is the first year when moringa tree sprouted back very fast in the spring and has already started producing pods. If you like herbs and medicinal plants, this is the plant that you should have in your garden. It is chicory. It has grown so much taller and the flowers are so pretty. They are attracting many beneficial insects. Before leaving for India, I had planted the slips of lemongrass throughout my garden. You can see it growing robustly. This is chocolate mint or peppermint. You can smell that refreshing smell even from a few feet away. The garden is now filled with many herbs, flowers. I can sense that I'm not alone in the garden. There is rustling of leaves and buzzing of bees and insects. Birds are chirping. The entire backyard is like a small ecosystem. I have some rabbits in my yard and I have to constantly compete with them to get my vegetables first. And because there are rabbits, bobcats frequently visit our backyard. It is unbelievable how, from almost nothing, so much changed, and that too in just a couple of months. I lost many precious plants like my black pepper vine, pandan, and neem tree. Before going on a vacation, I had thrown some old papaya seeds in one of the pots, and several of them have sprouted now. Dragon fruit leaves were looking very yellow when we came. It was blooming, but since the variety is not self fertilizing, none of the flowers turned into a fruit. You can see that dragon fruit is covered in the hummingbird vine. Many of my plants and trees are covered with hummingbird vines, and it is a volunteer plant in my backyard. One day it just started sprouting on its own and has now become an invasive plant. Amaranth is another volunteer plants that help themselves and come back every year. I have several varieties of amaranth plants growing here. This central part of the garden is messy but beautiful. It has a complex network of butterfly pea, passion fruit, and bitter gourd vine. And then there is this verde grape, Asian vegetable that looks like a cactus almost. And one very unusual plant that is the Indian banyan tree. There are many other common and rare plants in this video. Let's see how many you can identify. You can post the names in the comment section. Now you can enjoy the rest of the video with the soothing music. A big thanks for watching my videos. Subscribe and click the bell icon to stay connected. Social media links are posted in the description box. Feel free to reach out to me with your comments, suggestions, and don't forget to share my videos if you like them. Thank you again. See you soon.